So I am very excited because I have a new tutorial and a new pattern release for you guys today. Whoop whoop! Very happy. So I've been making this little Icelandic crochet cardigan, and it's inspired with the Icelandic the traditional sweaters that we have here. That always have like the pattern here. And so, but these are teeny tiny, as you can see. The original pattern comes in 4 predetermined sizes, from newborns up to 2 years old. And they are just so cute. I mean, look at that. I made 2 of these here. This one is a definite favorite. For these here, I'm using, you can use any fingering weight baby wool. I'm using the baby wool from Icelandic, and I really like it. Love this yellow. And for this tiny size, and if you're using that, then you'll need a hook, 3mm hook, and then 2.5mm hook for the bands. Now, what I wanted to tell you was that maybe for you guys this is not the normal time for making sweaters. In May, it's coming summer, but actually for the Icelandic Crochet Cardigan, this is quite perfect, because this is what we call now peysuveður. So we get very excited in May, June-ish, when it's actually warm enough to just wear a sweater, and we call this the sweater weather. So this is all according to plan. And also, if you're not living in the Arctic, then it's always good during the summer to be working on something small and handy, so you don't have a big blanket over you or something. So these sweaters are gonna be quite nice for little summer projects, I hope. Now, like I said, you get 4 sizes in the pattern. I'm going to show you the smallest one, which is just a newborn size from 6 months, 0 to 6 months. But then you can go up in sizes just with using larger yarn, another weight of yarn, like a thicker weight of yarn. So this here is worsted weight. This is also the same size as this one here, but it's just worsted weight and the hook 3.5. So you see you can go up sizes like that. And then finally, because I really wanted to make this for kiddos as well, because they're so cute, so I have made just a teeny tiny modification, adding these little cute cuffs here. And then you have the kitty sizes. So this is 7-year-old size. I made this for my niece and it suits her perfectly. Can't wait to show you guys the pics. It was just beautiful. And this actually gives an even better Icelandic traditional sweater look with the extra cuffs here. So that's included in the pattern. If you want to make it larger, just go up in yarn, and then you add the cuffs to get some decrease here and longer sleeves, because apparently toddlers and babies have very short proportionally arms, so we need to do some extra to make it kitty sizes. So that's it now. Yes, and I always get asked when I do baby sweaters that you ask for the adult sweaters and vice versa. So actually now I have a pattern already published. It's called the Crochet Cardigan, which is very similar in adult sizes. I couldn't for the life of me find it, of course, nothing is organized here, but I have here actually one that I'm thinking about translating. I made this one years ago, but this is closed. I haven't done this. Would you like me to do a pattern on this? Translate this and do it again? I made this for my dad years ago. So maybe this one is coming up in adult sizes, and I already have the cardigan, Crochet Cardigan, available in my Ravelry store. I'm probably forgetting about something, but it's okay. It's Saturday. It's peysuveður, sweater weather. And let's go. Let's make a little Icelandic cardigan. And off we go. So I am using this here baby wool from Icelandic. This is an Icelandic yarn brand. It's 50 grams for 175 meters, which means that it's fingering weight. And I'm using a 3mm hook. Okay, so for the sweater, like well, it's in the pattern everywhere noted that you need 3 of these then for the smaller size, which is what we're going to do here. And when we start by doing the sleeves, because we just want to get that out of the way.
So we start by doing the 2 sleeves, and then we start working the body. Okay, and we're going to do the smaller size, so we're going to start by using our main color and chaining 31 stitches. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Okay, 31 chain ups. And now for round 1, we are going to, well, to finish this here before we go to round 1, we're going to join this here into a circle, because the sleeves are worked in a circular in the round, so we don't have to do any sewing there or anything. So sorry, just take care that it's not twisted, and we're going to join here into the last stitch here, and just with a slip stitch like so, dip. And now we are going to do round 1 for the sleeve, which is chain 1, 2, and 3, and just let those chains be quite tight, because we're not going to be working into them. And now we're going to work 31 double crochets. Okay, and I'm going to just use the opportunity and work around my tail here as well, since it's here, and I'm just, so we're going to do 1 double crochet into each stitch. And already you can see how cute the little cutie is. So cute, it's so small, and oh, it's such fun to make these little tiny projects. Whip them up in no time, and they're just so damn cute. I mean, little tiny little sweater. That's what we're doing. Okay, I'm just going to continue and work. I'm working over my tail, as you can see here. It's quite enough now, a few stitches, and then I'm going to work one double crochet into each stitch here until I get to this here. It's now 31 double crochets, and then I'll get back to you at the end of the row. Okay, so I've done 30 here, and the 31st and the last stitch here in the first round goes sort of into this one here. You see the slip stitch that we joined with. Okay, 31, and now we are going to join with a single with a slip stitch into the first DC space of the round, and that just means that we put our hook here in between the 3 chains here and the first double crochet. So this is DC space, the space in between double crochets, and we just join there with a slip stitch. Whoop, whoop. And that is round 1 all done. Okay, and now the next 4 rounds are the same, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. We're going to start working the V-stitch. So we're going to start by doing a chain 3 here, and then work 1 double crochet into the same DC space that you joined from, like this one here. Okay, now we're starting the V-stitch. Fun times happening. That's what's happening. Love the V-stitch. Okay, so we'll do 1 here, and then you skip the next double crochet. No, the next 2 double crochets. You see, you skip this one and you go into the next. Here's 1 double crochet space, and here's another one. So you skip 2 and you go into this one. You skip those 2 double crochets. Go here, yarn over, and work 2 double crochets there. Okay, and now we do the same again. Skip 1 space here and go into the next one and do 2 double crochets there. And this is such a delight to work the V-stitch. Skip 1, go into the next one. So it's just 2 into every other double crochet space that we have. So if you want to make a larger size, then you obviously start with more stitches here to make it wider, and it only just has to work up as a repeat of 2 stitches, because it's just, you're always working in every other here. So you can do whatever size you want. The pattern comes with 4 sizes, so this is the smallest, and then there are 3 larger ones. And then you can make the kitty sizes with DK yarn, so I also explain in the pattern. It's really nice when you can control the sizes with just different type of, you know, different weights of yarn. Why is that? Because I absolutely loathe doing sizes. No, I mean, it's just nice when you can keep it simple, you know? Doesn't have to be so complicated. Okay, I'm coming to the end of the round here. As you see, this is crazy simple. Just 2 double crochets into every other DC space here, and now we have here 3 left, and we do 1 here, no, 2 obviously, and then we join here as before with a slip stitch into the first DC space, this one here, between the 3 chains and the first DC. Whoop, hoppala. Nej. Whoops. There we go. Okay, and so this is the base row really for the sleeve. We're always going to be doing the same. So now for the next 2 rows, so this is row 2 to 5 in all sizes. So you just do 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to repeat this row 2 here just 3 more times. Okay, and it's again the same. So we start with the 3 chains and do 1 double crochet here into the first DC space, and then we're going to skip 1 and go into the V here. You see this one. So that is actually why it's called a V stitch, because it forms a V when you do it in different colors, right? Yeah, so you're working always, okay, I'm gonna go and get the different color, because this is just the same, not to show it with different color. Okay, so when you do it with different colors, this is why it's called the V stitch, you see, because then you get this nice. So we are always working into our V's, you know. So if you like twist this, like if you tuck at it a bit, you see this one here, this DC space looks like a box, and this one looks like a V, and we're always working into the V's, not the box. Okay, so you just, but you can also just do it into every other one, but be aware of this as well. So you yarn over, you skip the box, and you go into the V. Whoop-a-doop-oo. This is so much fun, and I love working with this yarn. It's really soft and lovely. And this yellow, are you checking it out? Oh, I'm so happy when I found this yellow. Okay, I don't know who I'm going to gift this one to, but I thought it would be nice to have it like bright yellow summer sweater. Okay, you're getting my drift, right? You just go into all the V's like so. Yarn over, skip the box, go into the V, and this is like this for the next until you finish 5 rounds. Okay, and it's the same when you get to the end. You join the same, you start the same. Okay, so continue here until you have a total of 5 rounds, and then I'll be back. Okay, so now I've done the first 5 rounds here, and it's supposed to look like this. And just to show you the little sweater here, so we're starting with the what's it called, the sleeves here, and we'll do these details when we finish. That's the end actually. And so we started doing both the 2 sleeves, so we're starting here now, and then we're gonna work our body, and then we join the whole lot. So we have now done the first 5 rounds. And so we're gonna do only 2 increases on the sleeves actually, because it's tiny. And now we do increase in round 6, then we're gonna do an increase at the beginning of the round. And so we're gonna chain 3 like we always do, and do 1 double crochet here into the first DC space. Yes. Okay, and then we're going to add a couple of, like 1 V here in between. We're going to work 2 extra DC spaces. And I did double crochets here into this space, which is a box, which usually we do not what? Yes, we do not want work into the boxes, but when we're doing an increase, then we do it here. Okay, so now we'll increase 1, like 2 stitches, 1 V stitch. Okay, and then we just work the rest of the round normally. And then you join as before, but yeah. Okay, so I have now finished round 6, and now after this round we're supposed to have 34 stitches. Okay, so that's 16, 17 V's here after this. So we just join here as before, and now we've done our repeat, and then when our increase, the increase here on the left side, then we're going to do another repeat in a bit on the right side of the join, just to keep it even. And when you work over your repeat, no, why do I keep saying repeat? Goddamn. The increase here. So we're just going to work normally here in this one, and then we just do normally 2 double crochets here in the double of this new V, and we continue. And so we're going to work until what? Yeah, 10 rounds just now normally in the round and join, and no increase. Okay, so I'm going to do 10 total. So that's now from 7 to 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 rows here now with no repeat. And then I'll show you how to do the repeat here on the left side, on the right side. Off we go. Okay, I've done 10 rounds here then. And we started with 16 sets of V's. We've done 1 increase. And so now we have 17 V's here. And now we're going to do 1 more increase, and we're going to do that at the end of round 11. Okay, so we're just going to start round 11 here, and if I had remembered, I would have done that as well. And I did up to 10, and then now this increase we're going to do at the end of the round. Okay, I'm just going to get myself there, and then I'll show you where. Okay, so I'm here at the end of round 11, and here you can see my join as well. So as you can see, it's quite neat. You can hardly see it. And now we're gonna add another couple of double crochets here to do an extra V. Okay, so our last normal V of this round is just here in between these two. Right, so we work 2 there, and then we work 2 here in between the last double crochet and the 3 DCs here. Okay, so we add 2 here, and we join as before into the double crochet space with a slip stitch, and then we continue and do 3 stitches, 3 chains here, and we're gonna do two 12. Now we're gonna go into round 12. And we're going to do a total of 20 rounds here for the little sweater for the smallest size. Okay, so we've done all the increasing. We've just added 4 stitches, really. It's not much, but and I've done it like that. It starts rather wide actually, because I mean babies and toddlers have, well, not in any demeaning way, but they have very short and chubby hands. So there's not much increase here on the sweater, on the arm. It's what I mean to say. But like I explained in the pattern, if you do the larger sizes using thicker yarn, for example, or want to do the larger sizes as in adding to the sleeve here, like I did for my niece who's 7, then what I do is I just do the same exact pattern, and I just do the 2 increases, yeah, but then I add on this side of the pattern and do a decrease here, you know. So it's always just like this, just the 2 increases for each sleeve, just nice and easy. Doesn't have to be complicated to be good, yeah. So you just keep going like so. You should now have 36 stitches after round 11, and you're gonna keep going just normally, joining as before always, until you have 20 rounds. Okay, so keep going to 20, and well, then actually just do another one the same, but yeah, let's start with that. Keep going to 20. Okay. Okay, so I finished all the 20 rounds, and as you can see here, this is the join here. It does get like, you get a little like swing here on it, but you can fix that in blocking if you want, but it's pretty neat to join, I would think. And here is one increase and here is one, so you can see them, but you know, that's okay. This is handmade. So you finish this here up to round 20. I'm always saying round and row is the same word in Icelandic, so this sometimes has me confused. So when you finish your 20th round, then you just join as before, like so, with a slip stitch. Leave a bit of a long tail here, maybe 20 centimeters. It's like 10 inches, 8 inches. And then just do one chain here and pull it through, like so. And we're going to use these here to join for some sewing later on when you join the body and the sweaters. Okay, so that's why we leave a long one here. And so once you finish one sleeve like this one here, then you go ahead and do another one exactly the same. And now that we have the 2 sleeves out of the way, we're going to start doing the body. Okay, so remember, this is the sweater here. Oops. All done. And so we've already done now our sleeves, and we're going to start with the body, and that is very easy. Next, so this was the sleeves, next up the body. Okay, so off we go with the body. You're going to start up for the smaller size, chain up 94 stitches. Okay, and I've done that here now. And then we're going to start with row 1. Now this is a row, not a round. And you start by working 1 and 2 extra chains, and then you're going to yarn over and go into the fourth stitch from the hook. The one up on the hook never counts, remember? Oops, no focus here. So not this one, and then you'd count 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one here then, and you're going to work 1 double crochet there. Okay, and then we do 1 double crochet into each stitch. And those first 3 chains that we skipped, they count as 1 double crochet. Okay, so at the end of this row, we should have 94 double crochets. And I'm going to go ahead and do that here now. Just 1 double crochet into each and every stitch. Easy peasy. Okay, so I finished here row 1, and we have a total of 94 double crochet stitches, or actually 93 here, and then these 3 chains here count as 1. And then we're going to turn, because now we're always turning. We do this back and forth, the body. And this here now, row 2 is what I call the base row. So every time, after this is the base row, so after in the pattern from here on out, I would say like work like base row. So then it's just exactly like this row 2 now here. Okay, so we're gonna start with the V-stitch. We're basically doing the same as in round 2 in the sleeve. But now we're gonna do just 2 chains, and then we are going to skip the next double DC space here and do 2 double crochets into the next DC space. Okay, 1 and 2 here, and this is the repeat. It's so easy. So it's just skip 1 space, 2 DCs into the next one. So that is easy peasy. I hope I'm not getting a cold again. That would just be lo último. So this whole row is just skip one, you see, and go into the next one. So this is really just what we've been doing with the sleeve, which is also in V-stitch, of course, so you know the stitch by now. And it is such a delight to work. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this off camera and show you how to finish the row. Okay, so I've done the 2 double crochets here into every other space, and I just have now, you see here, 1, 2, 3 double crochet spaces left. So I'm going to skip this one, work 2 into this one here, and then I work 1 double crochet into the last space here, and that's row 2 done really. And now you should have 46 V's, and then 1 stranded, like there's 1 DC here in the beginning of row and 1 at the end that are just standing single. They're singletons, single DCs. Okay, and just to show you, when you continue with this base row, it's always the same. Just start with 2 single crochet, no, 6, blah, 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 2 chains, and then you do 1 here into, no, when you start you do not do 1 in, it was in the end, yeah. When you start over again, you do like in the beginning, and you yarn over, skip the first one, go into the second one. And the second one that you're going into is obviously the V, like we've talked about. Now you can see the V's and the boxes. Here's a box, we're not going to work into that. Here's a V, we're going to work into that. Yeah, and so this you now just do flat, work back and forth, this same base row, repeat it until you have 20 rows done here, and then we will join the body and the sleeves. What I want to show you just before I continue with my body here is to show you that I'm working on 1 in 3 colors. Yeah, I love this one actually. So the original ones that I did years back, like when Pepe was just a tiny baby, so he's 14, yeah, so like 14 years ago, 13, 14 years ago, I used to make these in 3 colors like these, which is really fun. But now I kind of changed my idea when I wanted to make it look more like the Icelandic cardigan, so I did this here, but it is really fun to make them in 3 colors as well. And I just wanted to show you that you can do it, and that it's not all the ends that you think that you're going to have to weave in, because when you're doing it in 3 colors, then your next color is always just waiting here, and you can just draw them up like this, and then I do the border around it, so you don't have to cut at all. Actually, you have to cut less, I think, when you do it in 3 colors like that. So just wanted to tell you about that. This is fun too. But now I'm going to continue with my yellow one. I have my 2 sleeves, and then I have the start of the body here, and I'm going to go ahead and do my next row. So I have 20 rows done, and you do the same, and then we get back together and put the sweater, the sleeves and the body together, which is so much fun. Okay, whoop whoop, let's go forth and conquer my tribe. Okay, so I finished here 10 rows and I'm out of yarn, and I just thought I'd show you how I attach the new yarn. I know you're not supposed to tie knots apparently, but I think that's just silly because it's yarn and I just tie a knot. So I usually like tie it just like this, just leave some long tails so that you can weave over them. And usually when I tie it, I take care not to tie it very tightly, so I can a bit manipulate where the knot sort of ends up. Do you know what I mean? So I just tied it together here a bit loosely. Whoops, you see? And then we'll see where it lands, and then I can decide where to put it. Okay, so again, we're just working the V-stitch here. Absolutely love this color. Okay, so now for example here, so that I can just finish my 1 stitch, I'm just going to pull it here a little bit, and then it's perfect here. Okay, and then you just keep going, and then when I'm in the next row, I will just work over these tails here, and then just tighten it, whoop, and then I'll just put them like this in the next row and work over them. Easy peasy. On we go, up to 20 rows. Let's go. Okay, so I have finished the body. I think I may have have to go out like this, even though you say everything is a mess here, but that's okay. So I finished the 20 rows of the body, and just want to say quickly here also that when you're counting the rows, you can count just sort of the V stitches here. It's like this. And also when you do it, you can see always sort of, I usually count them 2 and 2. So it's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. But it's also, you can count 1, 2, 3. You see, it's like little V's. You count the V's. So this is 20 rows here now. And we are going to start now and join the 2 sleeves that we already have that go like this to the body. So this is like the first part of the yoke, really. Okay, so let's just put the sleeves here aside for a bit, and we're going to start by working this first row here of the yoke, really, where we put it together. We're just going to start by working on our, you're not going to break the yarn after you do the body. And now we're just going to start and do here the 2 chains, and we're going to do and now we're going to work 10 V's here on the body. Okay, so I think maybe I can just, it's just normally like we've been doing, so I think I'll do that off camera. So we start by working 10 V's here, and then we continue and join the sleeve. Okay, so I've done here 10 V's on the body, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then we take the first sleeve and we join that like so. So you're gonna find the join here, and you're going to, we're gonna start inserting it. We're gonna skip the first 2 V's here, and we're gonna start working into the third V here. You see, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 in the 5th DC space here after the join. Okay, and it's just a matter of not overthinking. This is so simple, but everybody, well, not everybody, but people do sort of just think maybe it's more complicated than it is, but it really isn't. So we sorry, we just put the sleeve here, and we're going to yarn over here and not think more about this, and we're going to go straight into the third V here on the sleeve. Okay, just don't think about it, just do it. And just take care to try and do it nice and tightly, and we do 1 and 2 here, 1 V here, and then we're just going to continue and work all over the sleeve. And it's supposed to be 13 V's now. Okay, plus this one here, so it's total 14 over the sleeve. Okay, and so just as you see, I just keep going here. There's no trick to this really. It just looks exactly like this. It's just a matter of putting it in the right space there in the beginning into the third V after the join of the sleeve, just so that the join of the sleeve is obviously under the arm, not on the shoulder, so that you can't see it. Although it is a very neat join, I feel. I'm happy with the join on this when you work it in the round. Okay, so you just continue and work all over the sleeve like so. Total of 14 V's over the shoulder. Basically, we're skipping 4 at the join. Yeah, we had 18 V's in each sleeve, and we're skipping. We're gonna leave 4 that we don't work, but I'm just gonna show you. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I think I'm coming down with a cold, for God's sake. Okay. How many have we here left? Now this is joint 1 and 2, so it's 2 more here. I'm gonna work into. That's 11. No, that was a total of 14, so that's 13 and 14 here. Okay, and this then leaves us here with if you look at the join of the sleeve, then we have here 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 V's here that we're not working into. Okay, that would be the underarm. Okay, and now what we're going to do, we're going to leave these here then without working into them, and we're going to count also 4 V's here that we're going to skip. So we worked into this one here. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we're going to work into this one here then. Okay, so you yarn over and you count. This one we worked into 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th. And then we're just going to start working into the body again and try and do these a bit tight here. The first one that just because it wants to be a bit loose sometimes. Okay. So sorry. You see, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And now we just continue working over. This is the back of the cardigan. And now we just continue working over that. How many are we supposed to work? Sorry for the coughing. Okay, 18 V's over the back. I've done here 1, 2, 3, and I'm just going to continue and do 18 here, and then we're going to fasten the other sleeve. But see how easy this is. One sleeve is attached now officially. So 3 here, I'm going to do 15 more, so we have 18 over the back, and then we'll insert the other sleeve. Okay, so I've done the 18 here. Let's go out again, even if it's messy. So we did 10 here on the body, and then we worked 14 over the sleeve, and we skipped 4 here and 4 here, and then it's 18 DCs here, and now you should have 4 plus 10 left. So the 4 is what we leave for the underarm, and this is for the front of the cardigan. Okay, and we're going to insert this here sleeve exactly the same way. Oops, did I not? Oh, and pulled through here. We go. Okay, so we find here again the join, and it's 1 and 2, and we're going to go into the 3rd V here. Okay, so we just put it here next to the body where we're working, and we're going to yarn over and do this tightly, have everything tight, neat and tight here, and we're going to count 1 and 2 and 3. Go right into that V there, and take care to have it extra tight. Okay, 2 DCs here. So it's so easy to join this, but I think, I mean, I put a lot of photos in the pattern, of course, as well, and my wonderful friend Sui did a lot of pics to show, but it's always just best to show in a video, right? How crazy simple this is. And then you just continue here, and we're going to work another 14 DCs here over the sleeve. Just on we go. Ba, ba, da, ba. I really do love making these sweaters. I'm making this one just for, I don't even know who. I picked out these really cute pink, neon pink and great brown and white to do the extra details. Hope it comes out nicely. Oh, am I kidding? I'm sure it comes out great. But it really is such fun to make. I mean, I just started this last night with you guys, and you can easily make it in a couple of days. But it's okay also to take a longer time with it. But I do like making these because it's so quick and fun. And it's great, a project to have, like small project like this for the summer, so that you're not working on like a huge blanket or anything. Okay, we must be getting close to the join here now. Yep, 1 and 2. There's just one more here. This is number 14 of the V stitches we work over the sleeve. And now we're going to skip these 2. Remember again, we're going to skip 4 V's here under the arm. And we're going to do the same with the body. So this is where we worked our last V stitch here, the 18th of the back, and we're not going to work into that obviously, and then we're going to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and go into the 5th, like so, and do this nice and tight because we're going from one piece to another, like so. 2 DCs here, and then just it's 10 stitches here for the front part. That is 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, slow TV, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And just the one single crochet here at the double crochet. The single double crochet here at the end. 2 chains there. Okay, so now it is, you see, it is joined. Looking like this, and it looks very feeble obviously at this point, but don't worry, once we continue working over both then it won't be so wobbly. Okay, so this is what it's supposed to look like now, and then we're going to do the yoke. And now before we continue, I'm gonna put in some stitch markers. I'm not sure which I want. Whatever, really. These here will do. Okay, get 4 stitch markers. If you don't have a stitch marker, you can just use a bit of yarn, and you're gonna place stitch markers here on all the joints of the sleeves and the body. You see, just in the DC space here between the last V of the body and first V of the sleeve. And the same, we're gonna put 4 stitch markers. Okay, so just on all the joints here in between the 2 V's. Like so, and on the other side as well. Okay, just I can go maybe in now. See, just between the last one of the body and the first one of the sleeve, and the last one of the sleeve and the first one of the body. Okay. Alrighty, and now we go into row 2, and we're just gonna work the same as we have before according to the base row, until there is 1 DC space left before the first stitch marker. Okay, so this here is row 2 then of the yoke, and we're just going to start by working the first 9 here V spaces, V stitches. This is the front of the cardigan now. 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. It's way better after I got my new light. Okay, so this is the 9th here. So you work until you get to the stitch marker, really. So now we're gonna work over. We're gonna do just a tiny little decrease here at the joint just to make it a bit neater. And so now where you have just 1 V left here before your stitch marker, we're gonna work just 1 double crochet into this V, and we're not gonna finish here. We're gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna work 2 double crochets together. 1 is situated in the last V here of the body, and 1 is situated in the first V here of the sleeve. Okay, so I've got 1 up here, and I'm going to yarn over again, go into the one on the sleeve, like so, and close them both together. And I do actually like to do like an extra slip stitch here, chain, sorry, just to close it nicely off. It's not a pattern actually, it's just something that I do. And now once you finish this, you're going to work just 1 V into each V stitch over the sleeve, and just don't overthink anything here. Like, you see how it's you just continue going basically. Okay, and we're going to do the next at the next join as well, but I'm going to get myself over there. So we work V's all over the sleeve until we get to the last V stitch there, honestly. Okay, I worked all over the sleeve here, and now I'm at the other join here at the other end, and I just have one more V stitch here, and I'm going to do this again now. Work 2 double crochets, just one into each, and then close them together. It's just to get it a bit neater there over this first row over the join. So we yarn over, go into the last V of the sleeve, pull your yarn up like so, yarn and go through 2, and then keep this one here up here, and then we're going to yarn over again, go into the next one, the first V of the body of the back, pull up your yarn and go through 2, like so. It's not focusing very well. Okay, and then we're going to go through all 3, close them together, and my little extra chain here. If you do this extra chain, do take care to do it really tightly. Okay, and now it's just exactly the same. We're going to continue over the back, and when you get to the other sleeve, you work the same over that. So here it's just 2 double crochets into each V until you get to the last one, and then you do one double crochet here and one here that you close together, exactly like we've been doing here. And then you work over the sleeve, and then here you do again one here and one here, and you close them together. I'm going to do that, and it's exactly the same as we've been doing here, so I don't think I have to show you that, and then I'll show you what it looks like at the end of row 2. Okay, I've finished this row, and as you can see, the joints are a bit sturdier now, and so you've done now 2 stitches decrease at each join, so you should have a total of 126 stitches in this, after this row 2 of the yoke. And now we're going to work a row with no decrease, and we're going to work it exactly like the base row. The only difference is that now that where you did the decrease on each join in the last row, you'll have an imperfect V-stitch. So we'll just, the only difference here is you work just 1 into each. I'm just going to show you the first one. So we're going to do a couple of, rows 3 and 4 do not have any decreases. So just going to show you how to do this row 3 here then. And we just work, this is just like the base row then, just start with 2 chains and then do 2 double crochets into each V, and the only difference in this row is we're going to treat the decrease we did on each join, which were 2 double crochets together, just going to treat those as a normal V, you know, just going to work a normal V in between the 2 we took together there. Yeah, so all just normal here up until the join. And when you get to the join here where you have these, I'm still on the, sorry. So where you get to the join here, you have these 2 double crochets together, and we're just gonna act like that's a normal V. So we skip this one and just go into this one here where you did the 2 together, and we're gonna work 2 DCs here. Okay, so that's the only difference. It's just a normal row, but every time you get to these here, then this is not a perfect V-stitch here because we took these 2 together. We're going to work 2 double crochets in here. Okay, so that's just row 3 is just all like this, just act as these were normal, and then row 4 is also just with no decreases, just like the base row. Just so row 3 now, whoop, and row 4, and then I'll get back to you. Whoop whoop, and then we get to put some nice colors in. La 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 la. Okay, let's go out here a bit. So now I've done these 2 rows without decrease. This is what our join looks like now. This is where we did the two DCs together, and then we did the next row after we did we made it into a V-stitch here, and then the next row after that, row 4, was just like base row, just 1 V into each, no decrease. And now we're going to start the decrease of the yoke, and I'm just going to show you this one here. So we do the decrease is like in 2 rows, and so we start here now. We're going to do this one, the first row of the decrease, and then that's row 5, and then 6 here. We're going to start with the colors, and I used 1, 2, 3 colors, which is really nice actually, but I really want to get these 2 pinks in here. So I think I'm going to add this little pink here just in the middle instead of doing yellow here. I'm going to use these here and white. Yeah, so now we start the decrease here in the yoke, and we're nearly there, really. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to move our stitch markers up. So we put them here on the join, you see where they are, and we're just going to follow that stitch up. It's here, here, and here. So we're going to put it just up. You don't really, I mean, you can obviously see it also. I usually don't put stitch markers in this. You can see where it is, but it's always nice to have a stitch marker just to be sure. Okay, so we have our stitch marker here on the join. It's just to mark where we're going to be doing our decreases. So we move all the stitch markers up to the current row. Like so. And on we go with row 5, where we start the proper decrease in the yoke. So we're going to work normally until we have 1 V-stitch left before our stitch marker, yeah? So we just start and work like the base row always, 2 chains here in the beginning, and then just 2 double crochets into all the V's. I know I've said it 100 times, but I absolutely love working this stitch. It does give both a really nice openly weave fabric that is pretty when it's just in one color, and then it is so much fun to work with when you do add some stripes to it. And there it really shines, and it's just so comfortable to work because you don't have to look so much what you're doing. You can feel your way with your fingers. Okay, we have 2 left here now before the stitch marker, so 1 more, and then this is how we do the row 5 repeat. So every time you get to a stitch marker, we do the same at all stitch markers. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the first one, and then but it's always the same. So when you get to a stitch marker, when there's 1 V-stitch here before your stitch marker, you're gonna yarn over and just work 1 double crochet into this V. Okay, and then into the one where the stitch marker is, we're just going to do it normally, 2 double crochets just into the V, like so. And then into the next V after the stitch marker, we're also just going to work 1 double crochet. Okay, so here we have decreased now 2 stitches at each join. And so then you just continue working normally according to the base row and the V-stitch until you get to the next stitch marker, and then you do the same. Okay, so in the V before the stitch marker, you just do 1 double crochet. In the one where the stitch marker is, you do 2, and then in the one after, you do 1. Okay, and just continue the whole row 5 the same way. V stitches all the way, and then the same decrease here that I just show you. You do that here and here and here. Total of 4 times. Okay, on we go. Okay, so I've finished row 5, and as you can see on all the joints here where we have our stitch marker, we have this 1 single double crochet here and 1 double crochet here on either side of the stitch mark, and the one in the stitch mark is normal. Okay, and now we're gonna do row 6. And these 2 are what I call the repeat rows in the decrease. And we're changing color here now to start with the pattern colors in the yoke. Why is this not? Yes, thank you. And I'm gonna use this crazy pink, and I'm very happy. I'm excited. Okay. Sorry, just sorting the yarn here. And when you're gonna change the color, then just break your yarn, leave a bit of a tail here, 10-15 centimeters, just so it's easy to weave in. And then you change the color in the last step of the last stitch of the last row. Okay, so now we're finishing row 5 and we want the new color in row 6. So instead of finishing our double crochet here with this color, we're going to finish it with the new color and leave a bit of a tail as well there, so it's easy to weave in later. And so we're just situated like this, and we'll pull it through. Okay, and now we start row 6. Oh, this is a great color. I love hot pink and bright yellow together. Happy on happy. Okay, and we're going to start this row just normally until we get up to our stitch mark. Just 2 chains and work our V-stitch. All hunky-dory and happy, introducing the color in the yoke. Oh, this is the best part really, isn't it? Okay, so it's basically just when we get to the decrease stitches we did in row 5, we're just gonna skip those. That's all there is to it really. Otherwise this is just a normal, it's like the base row, but then every time we get to the single, the DCs, we did like just 1 single ones there in the last row. We're gonna skip those. So okay, here we have a V-stitch, and here we have our stitch marker, and here's a single one. Okay, so we're just going to work normally 2 double crochets here, and then all you want to try and do this tight, because now we're going to skip this here, the one that we did just solo here, and we're just going to go straight into the one where we have the stitch mark and work 2 double crochets there. And it is good to try and do this a bit tight here, because we are pulling it all together. Okay, everything tight and nice, and then you yarn up, yarn over, and then you skip this one here that was solo, and just go into the next one. Okay, so that's sort of like the second part of the decrease. We do it in 2 rows. Yeah, you see it's coming together a bit. And this is just how you work row 6 the whole way. Just work the V-stitch according to the base row, and every time you get to the stitch mark, then you just skip the ones that was solo here. So now I'm going to work here. V-stitch, I'm gonna come here. What do? I skip this one, I skip this one, I work 1 V here, 1 V here, and 1 here, and just try and do it nice and tight over the join. Okay, I'm gonna do that and show you. It's always the same. Okay, so I have finished here this first row of the pattern color. Such fun. So now we've done the 2 rows of decreases. Okay, that was row 5 here when we did the solo DCs here, and then in row 6 we just jump over the solos. And what you need or want to always take care of is to do that tight and nicely here, so that it wasn't, but yeah. And now next up are 2 rows just without any decrease. I am going to, like here I used this sequence, color A, B, A, C, D, and then A again. I mean, you can arrange it as you like. I like to do it like this with a pink, a bit of the main color here in between. For this one, I'm gonna use this brown for this one, and then white. And instead of doing yellow in the middle, I'm gonna do this extra pink here. Okay, so you arrange the colors any way you see fit. You can also just use all kinds of colors all to the top if you want. But I'm gonna do those 2 rows. It's just like the base rows. Base rows, yeah, just normal DC V-stitch overall. 2 more rows. That's rows 7 and 8. Okay, I go do that. You go do that. Whoop whoop. Okay, so the fun is starting to happen here. You see how beautiful this stitch is when you do it striped. Yeah, I forgot to say before, I'm just using some scraps from my fingering weights here to do the. You need so little of the pattern colors in these that you really can just use scraps, but I am using for the white, I'm going to use the same as this. And I mean, it is nice to just use the same yarn, and it's all very sleek and slick and smooth, but I wanted some more extra pink colors, so I'm going to my stash. So now we have here 2 rows without any decrease. Okay, so we're up to row 8. We have finished 8 rows now of the yoke, and when you count that, you just start counting here, you see, just after the, so you start here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and now next up are rows 9 to 10, and we're going to work them exactly as rows 5 to 6. So I don't think I have to do that on camera. We're just gonna go, well, I guess I can start it. You're just gonna do those single stitches there, the solo DCs, right, before and after the stitch marker. Okay, and then in the next row after, so row 9 is like row 5 where we did the solo DCs, and then row 10 is like row 6 where you just jump over the solo DCs. Yeah, so it's just the same decrease as before, but we can just start the row here, but I think I'm gonna finish it then off camera so I don't have to sit at the table. That's okay. Okay, so we just change here. This is row 9 now. We do 2 chains. I'm gonna do the white. Now, it's always really nice to have white in these. I think, well, it's traditional for Icelandic sweaters as well to have some white in it. So I really like using some white as an extra pattern color in all my Icelandic crochet cardies. And so you just work normally according to the base row until you get to, until there's 1 V-stitch left before the stitch marker. And now, I mean, I know I say always move your stitch marker up, and that's grand, but you don't really need to. You can see, you know, you can just follow it up. It's a bit of a nuisance to be always moving it, right? So if the stitch marker is here in this one, then I can just see that it will be here, right? So I have 1 and 2 more here before, and then the stitch marker is here, and this is the one where I'm going to do the solo. Okay, so this is normal. 1 and 2, and then in the last V before the stitch marker, you see here, this is where the stitch marker, this is the marked stitch. Here we're going to do a solo, and as before, always just remember to do it extra nice and snug and tight, those where you're doing the over the decrease. And then you do 2 double crochets into the one with the stitch marker. It's exactly like before, you guys, rows 5. You can go back if you need that, but, and then the next one after the stitch marker is just 1 solo DC. Okay, exactly like row 5. And then in the next row, this is row 8, and just go do the same on all the stitch marking, all the joints. And then for row 10, then you're gonna go with another color over, and you're just gonna hop over these solo DCs. I'm gonna do that off camera and then show you after rows 9 and 10. On we go. Okay, look how gorgeous these colors are coming along. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Crazy 70s, and like hot pink and yellow. I mean, hot pink, yellow, and brown is just my go-to happiness zone. Okay, so this is what's happening here. So I finished here rows 9 and 10, and as you can see here, oops, the decrease we did just like in rows 5 and 6. Okay, the solo Ds here on each side of the stitch marker, and then just hop over the solos. And as you can see, it's obviously a bit more notable when you are doing it every different colors, but I think it's quite good. Like, it really blends in with the pattern, you see. And so now I'm getting a bit tired of working all this on camera here, sorry, but trying to do my best. So we're gonna do an intermediate. So we have now finished row 10 here, okay, and it goes up to 16 the yoke, okay, but the next 5, so up to 15, are just repeats of what we have done before. And I'm just going to mirror my colors up to here, you see. I like to do that. That's sort of the Icelandic look of it. So you do your colors up to here, and then you put one in the middle, and then you just mirror here on this side as you did on this side. So I'm doing the same thing here. Now I'm here in the middle bit, And so I'm going to go now again and mirror what I've done and do next white, then brown, then yellow, then pink, then yellow. Okay, so for the next 5 rows, so I can sit down and work them off camera. Row 11, which is next row, you just work with no decrease. Sorry, like this. Okay, and then you're going to do 2 rows that have a decrease like row 5 and 6. That's rows 12 to 13, yeah? And then there's another row, 1 row with no decrease, just like the base row. And then row 15 is like row 5, which is the solo DCs. Okay, so you go do that, I go do that, and once like a show, and then I come back. Okay, wait, oh. Okay, just to recap, I've done 2 more rows now, up to, I've done 12 rows, and so row 11, like I said, was just no decrease. And then row 12, which I just finished here, is like row 5. It's the solo DCs here on each side of the stitch marker row. Okay, so I did here 2, 4, 6 V's, and then I get to the first decrease, and that's a solo V solo, and then we go with the sleeve, and we do another crease at the where we have our stitch marker here. And that's a solo, V and solo here. And then we work the back, and then we do it again here on this stitch marker and here, okay? And then you should have here 6 V's on each side of the front, okay? I'm just gonna keep going, just to show you how it's looking. I really love the colors. So next up is row 13. Then, and that's just like row 6, so it's just, I'm just going to work a normal V-stitch row, but just going to hop over the solos here. And then 14 is no decrease, and then 15 is like row 5, so that's like this again. Okay, on we go. Okie dokie. Okay, it looks a bit scruffy here now, but so I've finished these rows up to 15 here then now. And just to recap, that was 11 was here, and that was no decrease. Then I did the white one here, 12 and 13 was like 5 and 6. That's where I did here. No, it started here, yeah. This was 11, and then 12 and 13 here in the brown. That was the solos. And then just going over that with 13, 14, no decrease. And then 15, which I just finished, is again with the solo DCs here on the decrease where our stitch marker is. Okay, so I'm gonna go now and do row 16, which is the last row of the yoke, really, before we start doing the lists and neckline. Okay, and now we're actually going to, and now I've switched over to my main color again, and I'm finished with the pattern colors. So I just do the pattern colors here, and then this was the last. This was row 15 here, and now we're going to go up to 16. Okay, so this row is just to do a little bit of extra decrease over the whole. We're not going to do the decrease now like before, and we're not going to be working the V-stitch. We're just going to be working normal, what was it, half double crochets, and into the stitches actually. Okay, so you chain 2 like before, and turn. So this is row 16, this last of the yoke, and we're gonna do one. We're just gonna work half double crochets into the stitches, and we're gonna skip every 4th stitch. So we're gonna do like 3 and skip 1, 3 and skip 1, the whole row. Okay, so this one comes up here, so we're gonna start here. We did the 2, and that's like the first half double crochet, and now we're gonna do 1 and 2 and 3, and we skip 1, and then again 1, 2, 3, and we skip 1. Okay, so just the whole row is like this. It's just a little bit extra decrease here before we get to the neckline to pull it together a bit. So we're just gonna work like this the whole way over. And don't worry when you get to the end, like the final stitch count here doesn't really matter very much. So when you get to the end, just finish with a half double crochet here. But I'm gonna just go over there and then show you how to finish. Okay, I've been doing 1, 2, 3, skip 1 all over into the stitches, DCs here, half double crochets here I skipped one, but you can't really see. So now I just have a few stitches here left, and I just did 3 in a row, and now I'm going to, oops, want to be in focus here, skip this one and do another 1, 2 and 3, and then we'll just do 1 here extra here without really skipping anything, but that's fine. I mean, like I said, it's not exactly the final stitch count here, it's just that we've taken it together as we can. Okay, so now it looks like this, and actually at this point, yeah, it looks better on this side. Usually I just look on how the colors have landed, and if I like this is on the wrong side, I'm gonna keep it this way. So now we have essentially finished the sweater, the cardigan. Okay, I'm gonna turn it on the outside here. Yeah, this is the nicest side. So you can just decide like the inside and the outside are just the same. I'm just gonna decide now before I weave in all my ends. Okay, oops, sorry, let's go out. Okay, it's so cute. So I'm actually gonna try something new here now. I really want to get more colors in there. This one here I did, and I really actually love this one. This one was from my nephew. He's already outgrown it. Here I just did everything, the neckline and the lists I did with the main color. And so that is the reason for even the smaller size you need 3 of this. But actually I'm still on my second skein here for this small one with the main color, and this is the yarn, the same yarn I gave in the pattern. So you will only need then 2 if you're gonna use another color for the lists and everything like I'm doing now. But you can't do this all just without breaking the yarn actually. And if you're doing the same color, you just go right on and don't break the yarn after this 16th row here, and just go straight into the list. But since I'm doing it with another color, I am going to break the yarn, and I'm going to take the opportunity here now to just weave in all my ends and get that out of the way and sew it here and everything, so everything is nice and neat. And the way we do that, just pull this out, so like so. Whoop. Okay, and I'm just going to show you how to weave in a couple of ends and how to sew under the armpit. Okay, so when you are weaving in, it's just really common sense, nothing more. You just want to do it thoroughly and in the same, so you can't see it. Okay, so now I've decided this is the outside of my sweater, so I'm gonna be weaving in my ends here on the inside. Okay, and I'm just gonna have this yellow here now. It's a bit difficult to do the camera in the middle, sorry. Okay, and we're just going to go here a few stitches back, come up, whoop, don't want to be too tight either, and then 1 step back, and on we go, and then we can cut. Whippity-boo, ah-whoop-ah. Okay, and for example here now, just to show you, I'm gonna have one of the colors. I just want to have it, tuck it a bit so it's all neat and tight, and then usually I will try to sort of wiggle my way here in. I'm just gonna do it in the same color, you see. So I'm here in the pink, and maybe two or 3 steps. And just to make sure that it's not showing on the front side, there's a little trick you can do. Like now, I thread my needle here through. If you can see it from the other side, then you're going to see the yarn. Okay, you can't see it, so I'm not going to see it from the other side. Okay, like that. Just 2 or 3 steps always, and then cut. I usually leave like a little bit of a tail there. And now you do that with all of the ends. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to show you how to sew together here on the underarm. Okay, all ends, finish those now so that we can continue with our neat piece. Okay, so I just turned it inside out to weave in all my ends, which I have now done, and I already sewed it together here on this side. So we do that from the inside out, yeah. And yeah, I just want to say the way that we finished the cardi here, we finished here, so that is like it is on the outside there. When you don't change colors, then it's just automatically on the outside where you finish, sort of. So I have turned it inside out from that. I'm doing all the sewing from the inside. So what you do here under the arm is just to line them up here. This is why we left this long tail here. So we take it together like this, and we're just going to line up and sew our stitches together here from both sides, okay? So this one here comes out of this is like equivalent to this stitch here then, yeah? Because we have 2 V's on both sides, and it's coming out of this part here. So we are going to just line it up like so and go into both stitches like so. Okay, I went into the next stitch, so now I'm gonna go into both these. It's just better for it to, you see how it's lining up. Yeah, no. Okay, so these are here on the, this is the same stitch here, like so. And then into the next one, just a running stitch under both loops of each DC here from the V's that we left without working into under the arm. And then you see I went into all the V's, and now I'm just going to fasten this DC to this one here. Okay, so I went into 4 stitches here, and this is the 5th. Okay, and then I'm just going to do one little knot here going into the same bit and do it like so, so that it's secured, and then we go into the other direction, so we don't need another tail. And then I'm just going to move myself forward here to the join. Just take care not to tuck too tightly at this here. And then we do the same here with these 4 stitches, yeah? Okay. Here's the stitch. And here's the stitch. Where am I? Oh. This one here goes into this one. Yeah, okay. As you can see, it's just a bit, you know, you just have to line them up the best you can, and it's all rather self-explanatory. You see? Into both loops from each DC. Like so. And then we go into this last stitch here, just because there's a tiny hole here, and it doesn't really matter how you close it, but I usually go into this one and this one, and there you go, it's all closed. And then we're going to do one extra stitch here and a knot. Just means we go through here, whoop, and tighten it, and then we just hide our tail like so. And voila! All done. You see? And then it looks like this on the inside, which is neat enough. But then from the outside, it looks even better. So now I'm going to turn it inside out. Oh, isn't it cute? Dee. And as you can see here, it's all looking good here. This is the part that we sewed together. Okay. And now, next up, I have one tail here left, but I'm just going to work over that when I do the cuff. And now, we are going to do the lists and the neckline. Okay, and so if you're doing it with the same color, you were at this part here, at the top here on the right hand when you're looking down at it, and we continue from there. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to do the first row with this brown here, and then we're going to do the rest of it with this pink. Let's see how it goes. But otherwise, you can just do all of these following rows in the same color, and then it looks like this one here, which really just is lovely as well. I just did everything with the main color. Okay, that's a great option too. Okay, so now we're gonna start with the bands and neckline lining, and we're going to. So we start here at the upper corner when we are looking at it from the right side, down on it, and we're gonna slip stitch our way down here, and then we're gonna work half double crochets over the bottom, and then slip stitch up again and half double crochet over the neckline. Okay. So again, if you're going to use the same color, then you do not break the yarn here, but we will just fasten our yarn here into the last loop like so, and do one chain here. And now we're going to do, and another thing, we're going to drop down half a hook size. So I was using hook number 3, a 3mm hook for this one, for this yarn, so I'm going to go down to 2 and 2.5 when I do the border. Okay, if you have a 4mm hook, you go down to 3.5, etc. Just go half a hook size down. And now we're going to work slip stitches all the way down here to sort of mark our lists here, the bands. And you want to work approximately 3 stitches over every 2 rows. Okay, and so I'm going to show you how I do this. So you just go into here, next stitch, and you pull through, and this is a slip stitch, yeah, so you just slip stitch once, and now we go into this hole here and 1 slip stitch, although we did just go down a hook size, which is grand, but do take care not to do these slip stitches too tight. And then there's sort of like this was just the DC space that I went into, and then there's sort of like an extra little bit of thing here that I'm going to go into. So that's now 3 over 2 rows, okay? And then I go into the next one, into the DC space, and another DC space. And then I have this extra here, sort of place to go in between these 2 DC spaces. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And again into the DC space, and then I have this extra here, I can go into this. Okay, and we're just gonna work our way to the bottom like this, always making approximately 3 slip stitches over every 2 rows. Now obviously if you're going to, again, let us take care not to do them too small though. I usually just put bottoms on the top of these, yeah. If you're gonna do the bottoms all the way down, which you can do, you just have to then take care that you have the same stitch count on both sides. If not, then you don't really, I mean, I suppose if you want to, and it's not, I'm not saying that it's worse to have the same stitch count on both sides of the cardigan, obviously not, that is fine, but it's not really necessary either. I mean, I never count that, honestly. Okay, that was this extra one, and then DC space, extra. You see? Looking good. I love this round. And it's just 3 rounds the border, so we are almost there. Boo. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna go just continue exactly the same way and go down to the bottom and I'll show you. Okay, see, now we have this lovely straight line. Now, isn't that juicy? And I'm all the way down to the bottom here. I have 1 more here into the last DC space, and then I'm just gonna chain 2 And then I'm going to work half double crochets here over the bottom sides of the cardigan, and I'm going to work these into the DC space. Okay, so I'm not going to go into this first one here because we already went there sort of. So you're going to yarn over, go into the next DC space here, and chain, and finish your. It's looking a bit. Let's see. Maybe I should try and do. I mean, there's no one right or wrong way to do any of this. I'm going to do one extra chain here, actually, in the chain here in the end. Okay, and then I'm going to do my chain 2. Okay. Like so. Yeah, that looks better. Right? And I'm just going to do 1 half double crochet into each DC space along the bottom. This is fun. Beautiful yarn. It's hand dyed, so it's a bit. Okay, I think this is fine. Okay, I'm going to continue and then finish just 1 half double crochet into each DC space here over the bottom part. Then I'll check up with you on the next corner. Okay, so I've gone all over the border here at the bottom of the sweater, and obviously we're working this all with the sweater from the outside, turned as it is supposed to be. Okay, so now we're going to go back up here, and that's slip stitches again. I have to do 1 and 2, and I'm going to do chain 2. And I'm going to start and do the first one here, sort of. Well, I can't do it just here, can I? Oh, it's fine. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I got a cold again. Jesus. Okay, so that was into the first chain space here, DC space. And here is the little hole that we have to go in between. So I'm going to go into that one. And then we go into the DC space, just slip stitching our way up. That was the DC space. Now we have a little extra here. So again, just exactly as we did on the other side. Try to not keep it too tight. 3 stitches over each 2 rows, approximately. And if you're doing your buttons all the way to the top, from the top to the bottom, then you want to make sure that you have the same stitch count here on each side. Or just in general, if you're like a normal person, you want to have the same stitch count. I can understand that, but 1 or more stitches is not going to be the end of anybody, I think. I really like doing this round. Such juicy stitching, making this straight line. Oh, love it. Okay, I'm going to do the rest off camera, but it's just 1 slip stitch here, 3 over each 2 rows, okay? Okay, I've done all the way up here to the upper left corner. 1 more here to go. And maybe 1 here in the end, like so. And chain 2. And then we are going to also work 1 double crochet. No, sorry, 1 half double crochet here into each space, half double crochet space, because we were doing the half double crochets here. Okay, so oops, half double crochet, yarn over, go into the space, and like so. Nice and easy. Yarn over and get your yarn up. That's 3 up in your hook and go through 3. Yes, this is great. I love those final finishing rounds. Oh my god, so satisfying. Okay, and it's just all over the neckline then. I'm gonna do that and see you how to finish the round. Show you how to finish the round. Okay, so I've gone all over the necklining here and just have a couple of stitches left here. So we are going to do One more half double crochet here, another one here at the border, and I'm going to chain one here, cut the yarn, leave a bit of a tail so I can weave in and do whoop, and finish this off with the invisible join. Because I'm going to change the colors. If not, I would not cut the yarn here at all. Obviously, I just do it all in one color. Okay, and the invisible finish. It's here. And into this one again. Perfect. I'm going to just weave in my end here a bit since I have it already in the needle. You can also work over these ends perhaps. Okay. Where are my scissors? Yes. There we go. So that was round 1 for the buttonholes and everything. Let us see how it looks now. Lovely. And it's actually, you can maybe note that it's coming together, the neck lining. Also, just by doing these half double crochet stitches, they just kind of take it in a bit more. If you do need, on the smaller ones, I think the neckline is perfect, but on the big one that I did, actually, I did a bit of extra decrease at the last round of the neckline. So I'll show you how to do that. I won't do that on this one, but if you feel it's a bit open too, still don't worry, you can fix that in the last round. Okay, so we did round 1, and on we go. Okay, I'm gonna go in with this pink here now. Very excited about the pink and yellow sweater. So I will, and this round now, round 2 on the list, it's all just single crochets. So I'll show you, like normally you would just start then here if you're using one color, but I'm gonna move around my join a bit here and start on another part. Because it's nicer to change where it is. So we're gonna work single crochets, so into the back loop all of this round. Okay, so just fasten your yarn like this. Fasten your yarn like this and work 1 single crochet into each back loop. Oh, this is gorgeous. Like so. Doesn't really matter where you start on this round because it's all just single crochets into the back loop and then chain 2 on the corner. So I'm going to show you here. I should have started closer to the corner. This will give a lovely finish. I'm going to continue and show you here how I do the corner and how you work into the slip stitches. Just 1 single crochet into the back loop of each stitch here for this row, actually, round. Okay, so here we are back at the corner. So I'm working into every back loop here, and we're going to work into the back loop here of the first chain, and then we're going to chain 2, and then we work into the second chain, corner chain, like so. And now we're just going to continue and work up, always up into the back loop of these slip stitches here. This is really like what we're doing on the front side of the double border for our mosaic blankets, but there is no back side, so it's just fun working into the front side. So sorry about the coughing, but I'm not going to postpone this video at all. We will power through together. I was going to say you can stop watching now and watch later once I'm better. Not so very clever, am I? Okay, Okay, I'm gonna cuff my way up here. So this doesn't need to all be on camera. We're going with single crochet stitches into the back loop here as well, just like this. And it's the same for here, but it's just to show you how to. Okay, and then you get up to the top here, and then you're gonna work 1 single crochet into the first corner chain, and then chain 2, and then 1 into the second one, and then into the back loop again here all the way down, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Okay, so I have finished round 2 on the single crochets all the way. Actually, it's quite cute like this. You could leave it like this and just put 1 loop here for a button. I'm actually just going to put 1 button on mine here, and like if it's for kids, if it's for girls or kids that are wearing dresses, then it's really cute to just button it here, and then it's open like up here, just to do a little variation. And I only have 1 of these, and I really like it. See. So we're gonna decide now where we're gonna put our stitch markers. The stitch markers to mark the buttonholes, because now we're gonna work the buttonholes, and I'm just gonna put 1 here right at the top, so I don't really have to do that. But otherwise, I would like space them out like so. And this is where we would be situated here at the top corner here if I had not changed colors earlier, right? So I'm just gonna start there according to the pattern, and I'm gonna continue with the same color, and just gonna fasten it here. Whoop. And I am going to sorry, I'm going to do 1 single crochet here, and then I'm just gonna put my loophole here, or my buttonhole, sorry. So these are actually rather big, so I'm gonna do a 3. I'm gonna try and do 1, 2, 3, see if that's good, and then I do 3 chains and hop over 1, 2, 3, and then I just go and do single crochets after that. And you can do a buttonhole with 1 chain or 2 chains or 3 chains. Just what is important is that you try the size that you have. You see, this is just fits here through these 3. For these here smaller ones, I only used 2 chains for each. So just try and see if your button fits through. Okay, if you do 2 chains, then you skip 2 stitches. If you do 1 chain, you skip 1 stitch, etc. So like I said, if I were going to make more here, then I would just make a few more chains like so. No, single crochets, working into both loops now, like so. And then if, for example, I want to put another loophole, buttonhole, buttonhole here, I would just do 1, 2, and 3, and hop over 1, 2, 3, and go here and continue. Now I am not going to do that, because I'm just going to put 1 here at the top. But you can put as many buttonholes as you want. Just situate them evenly spaced here down to the bottom if you want so, or make 3 at the top, or 1, or what have you. Okay, so now I finished making all my buttonholes. Then I'm just going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch down to the bottom here, and then I'll catch up with you. Okay, so I've done single crochets here all the way down, and I did my 1 stitch, my 1 buttonhole here. You can have more if you want. And once we get to the bottom here, we're not going to do more over the bottom here. We're just going to add here, and we're going to work half double crochets here all the way up now. So we're going to chain 1 here and turn our piece. And don't worry, even though we're working this last round here over from the wrong side, it's okay, because we're working half double crochets, and those have beautiful loops on both sides. Okay, so we yarn over, and we're just going to work 1 half double crochet into both loops of each stitch all the way up. And once you reach your buttonhole, then you work as many half double crochets inside of the chain space there you left as you did chains. So for example, now I did 3 chains for this, so I'm going to work 3 half double crochets into my chain space for the buttonholes. If you did 2, you do 2. If you did 1, you do 1, etc. Okay, I'm gonna work my way up here just to show you. Here is my, where am I? Okay, I worked my way all the way up here, and as you can see from the other side as well, it does look lovely, even though we're working it from the wrong side really, because we have these 3 loops on the half double crochet. It gives such a beautiful finish, you see. Okay, so I'm up here to my buttonhole. So once you reach your buttonhole on the way up, then you just do, here's the last single crochet, and then I'm just going to work 3 here. 1, 2, 3. But actually this is the top one. Like usually we just do 3 and then carry on, but since it's the top one, I'm going to add a bit to it here. 4 and 5. Because I'm using it to turn as well. You see. Okay, but if you were here and making just 1, then it's 3. It's the same amount of stitches that you put into, work into the chain space as you did chains, okay? And now we're going to continue and work over our neckline, and that is just also 1 half double crochet, oops, into every stitch. Oh, sorry. There we go. No. Here. Not really sure where the stitches are here because I did it. There we go. See if that looks nice. It's not really very good, is it? Okay. I'm going to go in here again. Just going to do my 3. And continue. Okay. No. One. I want to go onto both loops. Although maybe it's just nice to just go into the back loop. As you can see, there's no one wrong or right way to do these things. You just try to do them as nicely as you can, yeah? Okay, let's see now how it looks. Okay, I have to pull at this. Yeah, that's decent enough. I'll just make 1 stitch here, then I have it here. Okay, that's good. And now I'll continue, and yeah, I think I'm just going to go into the back loop here actually. So that's the loop that is closer to me. Now it's just 1 half double crochet over all the neckline. You get here, you chain 2 and do half double crochets down here to the bottom, and then you join with the invisible join, and that's it. And then it's just the cuffs left. Yee, looking good. And ta-da! Oh, super duper happy with it. Oh my god, love the colors. So I just have to block it now, which just means laying it down and wetting it a bit and then pulling it into shape. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm just going to show you here on the cuffs. I do the cuffs exactly like the bottom bit of the cardigan. It's just 1 half double crochet into each DC space and then 1 row of single crochets. So that's easy enough. And here I have fastened my button, so it is all ready here now. Look, and it looks very neat here on the inside as well. You just have this 1 line here from, I'm really just very, very happy with it. And like I said, this is the version with some fun color here on the list, which was great. And then there's this one here, which has more buttons. This is more a bit gentleman-likely, and here I did just the same color here. And here actually I did twisted single crochets on the cuff, which is really cool as well. You can hit me up, but if you want me to show you that, I could do a video on that. It's really easy. And then I have this one here actually too, which is the same size, or it's the smallest size, but it is with a thicker yarn, so it's quite a bit larger. And here I just want to show you the third version you could do with the colors and the list. Is here I just did the list and the neckline, everything in gray, the main color, and then I just added to it this extra little row here of single crochets, twisted single crochets all around, which I think gives it a great look as well. And you can see this was on baby weight yarn, or like worsted, and the 3.5mm hook, and this was 3mm hook on a fingering weight. So you can see there's quite a lot of size difference, so you can really go up and down with sizes as well, with depending on the yarn that you use. But oh my god, are you seeing these? These are just too cute to believe. And I'm super happy to have finished. It's late. I've been doing this like non-stop for like 24 hours now almost, and I hope you liked it and that it helps and that you give it a go, because oh my god, they are so cute. And this yarn actually is just amazing. I really can recommend it. It's wonderfully soft. So I hope you have some small ones, some wee ones around that you can make some for. Whoop whoop. Tina over and out. Whoop.